So wherever you're watching this at, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Maybe it's the middle of the night. Maybe it's halfway through the day. Thanks for being here. Do you want a treat? Do you need a treat? Sit. Oh, that's a good boy. Lay down. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, yeah. We're almost at 1,300 subscribers. What? That's wild. Thank you for being here if you're new here. And I know your time is important, so choosing to watch these videos just kind of blows my mind a little bit. I put a lot of work into this one that you're getting ready to see. Just kind of sharing my experience with using the two different Raker gauges. There's going to be some recycled footage because I want to keep the new viewers kind of in the loop on how the test is being performed. Houston, we could have a problem. That might not be enough. We'll see. I'm also going to link these products in the description. I'm going to link the 500i pipe that Buckin worked with Mark Trader on. I'm going to link the West Coast plate you can get at West Coast Saw, and also the Husky plate you can get on Ripsaw. I think they might be out of stock right now. I'm not sure. You can definitely get them on Amazon, or ARB Session I think has them cheaper. They're a little bit more expensive on Amazon, I think. Good news, there was enough for one latte. Went kind of haywire on my pour, a little crooked there, so you know, rate my coffee. Just wanted to go ahead and share my experience on the Raker gauges. Some people don't even use a Raker gauge. That to me just kind of baffles me a little bit, because there's it's such a better experience when you're using a Raker gauge. You're a lot smoother, no chatter. You can line up cuts a lot easier. You can get in, especially with a square grind. With a square grind and a good Raker, your cleanup is a breeze. If you try to make a face cut on a round file and your Rakers are off, you're gonna just chatter all over it. You know, using a Raker gauge really enhances your experience running a saw. And if you're not using the right gauge, your experience could be shifted as well. So I just wanted to share my experience here and let people know what's worked for me, and kind of what lets me have a better experience. Also, if you don't know who Jeff Schroeder is, get out from under your rock, go over to his channel. He's got a crazy cool giveaway going. It's a 4-pound national wedge banger with Guilty of Treason's logo and his logo on it. I think it looks pretty sweet. He's going to give it away at 4,000 subscribers. I think that's dope. As for the giveaway on this channel, I'm going to announce it at the end of next week. I want to give everybody a chance to get in there and comment for the chain spinner and breaker. So that's coming up. And another disclaimer is I'm not a certified arborist. I'm not a faller. I'm not a logger. I don't spend every day in the woods. I'm a residential tree service guy. Just throwing that disclaimer out there. I don't want to portray anything that I'm not. And if your significant other has decorated for fall already, I'm in the fight with you. It's starting to look real pumpkin-y around here. So what I'm going to do is two different Raker gauges. I'm going to put a chain on my 440 and do that one. And then I'm going to go cut and swap the chains and see how they do. So I'm going to do the first one with the Husky plate for the 3/8. All right, this chain's all good to go with the Husky plate. So there are some differences in the two plates. Here's the West Coast plate, and then here's the Husky plate.
The Husky plate is a little bit more firm. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It just seems like there's a little bit more flex in the West Coast plate. I'm gonna go ahead and grind that other chain up now. So there's the different packaging for both of them. All right, I let that run for a minute. Well, I let it run for a little bit, and I'm just gonna tighten up the bolts to let all the metals congeal. That's what the experts say to do. All right, this is the Husky chain. I've got the West Coast chain in my back pocket with the Rakers. Let's get into it. All right, I'm all gassed and I'm all fueled and oiled up. Just walking back to where I'm gonna go cut. I'm going to make a couple cuts and then do a couple face cuts, swap chains, and see how that goes. That was the Husky Raker Gauge cookie cut. Still, the main focus, what I'm really after here is making sure there's a smooth angled cut. That's the whole point of this test, because that's really where most of my frustration comes from in an undercut, is on the angled cut. and I want to do the smoothest cutting that I can, and I want my rakers to be at the optimal position for that. And that's kind of the point of testing this, for me anyway. Way to keep an extra chain on you is in a glove. Something I picked up from the old Mr. Wilson on the gram. You can get these ratchet scrunches at a couple places. You can get them at West Coast Saw, you can get them at Ripsaw. I think Bailey's has them. Just about, they go out of stock quick. So wherever you find them, you gotta grab them. Take that bad mamma jamma off. I'm gonna set it to the side here. This is a real field test. Not just I heard it from my buddy, you know what I mean? Really getting out here and doing it. And I think that's the way you really learn, is by actually doing something. On the inside, there we go. Gotta make sure your cutters are in the correct direction. Go ahead and slide that on the sprocket. Get lined up. Make sure you're in your sprocket. Okay. Now you want to get back on your tensioner. I ain't going nowhere, right? Make sure we're tight, but not too tight. Make sure we're spinning good. Yeah, she's good. So I just did 5 face cuts, and it was a little grabby. This is tulip poplar. It is a hardwood. That was on the 025 setting. Maybe let's try boring. Let's try boring, and I'll run it back. Change it back to the Husky Raker plate. Get your rolled up chain, throw it in your glove. Too easy. There. Chain storage for free. Let me get on your sprocket. And just line it up. Ratchet scrunch makes everything easier. Okay, just want to make sure we're all the way on. Give it the old testaroni. Oh yeah, she's good. So those are the results. I'm going to take the footage home, edit it, do some timers and stuff, and kind of see. To me, the Husky one feels a little bit better. It's not as grabby. That 025 setting on the Husky is the only one that I can use. And it's kind of grabby. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Maybe I'm flexing it too much when I'm using it. I also feel like it's a little bit harder to get level, to make sure you're filing level. That might be on me. I don't know. It just, if I was going to buy one, I'd probably buy the Husky plate. But I mean, but if you have the West Coast plate and you're in the Midwest or on the East Coast where there's more hardwoods, I would lean more towards the 025 setting, because if you get that gauge and you throw it on the 50 setting, you're not going to have fun. Or even 40 is pretty low for me anyway. 30-35 is good. 30 is probably optimal. I think that's right where that Husky plate is on the hardwood setting. That's what it feels smoother on an angled undercut. Like if you have to do a steeper angled undercut, it's also a little bit more grabby. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm filing unlevel. I don't know. Let me know. Put it down in the comments if you've had a similar experience or if I'm doing something wrong. Just giving feedback. It's not any kind of hate. It's not really any kind of hate going on. I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. I do like West Coast products. I run their dogs. I have the clutch cover. I have it all. Okay. If it comes out of that shop, I probably bought it. It's just navigating, using the stuff it's just trying to get the proper equipment. And all I'm trying to do is figure out how to be the most effective cutter I can be. And that's just kind of my feedback on the products. I'm not saying, hey, don't use something. I'm just saying, hey, this was my experience. I'm sure on the West Coast and some softer woods it rips, but I can only use one setting on the gauge.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm really interested to see what you guys think on this, so please leave it down in the comments what your feedback is and your experience, and it'd be greatly appreciated. So thanks for hanging out on this one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.